Hello and welcome to the YouTube channel of SPORTSCAST India. And I am Sohan Poddar in the commentary box. And we are at the EMS Corporation Stadium in Kohikode with match number 12 in the RAMCO Kerala Premier League 2021, where Sports Academy Tirur playing host to the newcomers Wayanad United Football Club. And sorry for the inconvenience caused. Some internet issues from the ground stopping us from bringing you the live images of this particular encounter. That was an interesting move from SAT Tirur. Could not hit the target. They started brilliantly. The team in maroon and white, attacking from the left to right of your screen. Now the ball hacked forward. Here's Guy Harman, looking dangerous. SAT Tirur taking his time is Faslu Rahman, the skipper. He's got a goal to his name. He scored in the season opener against Real Malabar, bundled over by Vakaba, the Ivorian central midfielder of Wayanad United Football Club. And it's a free kick for SAT Tirur. And inspired by their 7-0 victory in the previous encounter against Real Malabar, SAT Tirur, they will remain hopeful of using the victory as a catapult to climb up the dominions of the lower trenches of the table. And they are currently placed second in Group A with a game in hand, and a win against Wayanad could see them jump over on top of the pile. And meanwhile, the free kick is saved, and the second shot is straight to the goalkeeper. The free kick hitting the wall, trying to organize the goalkeeper Bhavein. Another ball smacked over the top. It will be easily defended by Arsal, the player who he played in the Calcutta Premier League before, and also had a stint in the BDFA Super Division in Bangalore. This is how the side is set up for this particular encounter. For SAT Tirur, a few players from last season keeping their place in the starting lineup. Sunil Kumar making only one change to the side that beat defeat Real Malabar Football Club by 7-0 in the season opener. And as a right back, you can see Romtan Singh, the man from Manipur, starting today in place of Afzal K, who started in the previous fixture. Performers who impressed last week continues in defense and attack. Guy Harman is one of them, the Cameroonian, along with Anantu Murali, Ritesh and Ture, the main player at the heart of defense. And the bench also pretty decent with Irshad, Anandu, Afsal. It always gives you enormous confidence, but at the same time, they got to make sure, they got to be careful that the confidence doesn't turn into overconfidence. Meanwhile, the skipper, Faslu Rahman, is down on the deck. Is part of Kerala Blasters reserve side. Faslu Rahman also represented Tripura a couple of times in the Santosh Trophy. Kerala this time is going to be the hosts of 75th edition of Santosh Trophy, which is slated to kick off from the next month. Nicely done. Good nutmeg. Ture was covering the run of Migdad. Another exciting forward, Migdad, 25 years old, played for George Telegraph in the Calcutta Football League. Was also part of Tamil Nadu's Santosh Trophy squad a couple of seasons back. Wayanad United just need to get more time on the ball, try and settle things down, try and get into the rhythm. A good cross down the left by Johnson early on, which was grabbed by Mohammad Suhail. And apart from that, and so far in terms of going forward by the team in green and white, on the flip side, Sports Academy Tirur's Guy Harman has drawn in his fair share of plaudits for his neat display in the opener. But the likes of Murali Faslu have been showing signs of maturity and composure, as the score line doesn't reflect the true story. Currently placed at second spot with 3 points and maintained a clean sheet in the season opener. Ture Murali and Rajit inspired the landslide victory on 8th Jan, but Wayanad United in their debut game will be happy to get the job done and over the line against a strong SAT Tirur side who have got experience and aren't drawn by fear and intimidation. And now down the line, here comes a team in maroon and white. That was Ananthu Murali chasing it. Wayanad United stream out. A slow, patient build up from behind by SAT, and that is Ture lofting it into the path of Arshad. And now asking for it is the number 17 Bashir. He doesn't get it though. That was a rough challenge on the number 15. There you go. That's the incident. Going in tough. Oh, the number 10 tilting into him. That was Prasanna. Played for Chennai and FC previously. Had stints in the Youth Hero I League as well. And also in the I League Division 2. And that is Ayub, who was fouled by Prasanna. And free kick for SAT Tirur. Just over the halfway line, taking shot. Maybe this time they'll go long. Not really. Rolling it into the path of his defensive partner Ursal, who played in the Bangalore Super Division previously. Ramtan Singh driving forward and helps it down the line. And here is Murali getting on the ball. Nice, neat back heel into the path of Ayub. Trying to create room for the cross. Compelled to play it back. He was surrounded by three green shirts. And now stringing few passes together. Maintaining a high line in defense is SAT. And knocking down the right using the pace of Ayub. He was denied space on this occasion by the strong disciplined shape of Wayanad United. And now the creative playmaker Guy Harman. The Cameroonian sub-junior international represented his country in the under-19 level. In the sports academy, they will remain confident based on the momentum, and they will look to continue it this evening as well. The Wayanad United Football Club may have it in their arsenal to spring upsets out of nowhere. We saw that during the district championship, and SAT remains a favourite, but against the newcomers, Wayanad United Football Club, the lightning could strike in broad daylight. The newbies will be hoping for a better day in the office, more support from that front line, and more inroads towards the middle of the park from where they can try getting a shot or two on target. A lot more. Converging in very quickly on Ayub was Prasanna. Ayub certainly is going to have his job cut out against Prasanna this evening. Played for Chennai and FC, and trying to turn was Migdad. Guy Herman receiving a knock on his face. His ball is deflected. That was number 5 Johnson trotting up from his left full back position, looking to play the diagonal towards Munir, the skipper of the side, 32 years old, the oldest at this starting 11 of Wayanad United. Just over 10 minutes on the clock. It's goalless. We've had few stoppages as well, disrupting the tempo of the game. Meanwhile, the number 8 of Sports Tirur, Murali, is receiving treatment. He trained in Bayern Munich, in case you were not aware of it. A couple of goals to his name, scored a brace. There is Sunil Kumar exchanging his ideas, having a word with Ritesh, who opened the scoring for SAT Tirur against Real Malabar, followed by a brace from Anantu Murali, and goal apiece in the second half from the centre back Ture, Guy Harman, Ritesh, and Arshad as well got among the goals. His team at present surging with confidence, playing the ball to feet. No way forward on that occasion. Guy Harman, he was not allowed to turn. Uh, He was closed down very quickly. And now into the channel for Migdad. But he is marshaled by the Senegalese, Toure, that tall, imposing figure. His aerial threat is going to thwart many an attack that SAT is going to face this evening. This time conceding a free kick is Vakaba, the man from Ivory Coast who played for Les Serafin previously in the Ivorian second division. And now Guy Harman racing through the middle. Not the greatest of the passes. The ball is back with Wayanad, spreading it to the left. Driven slightly backward, Wayanad trying to get on the front foot using their midfield Ivorian. The ball lofted into the gap. A defender caught a touch in the way, removed the sting of the ball, and making it comfortable for Muhammad Shuhail to collect. He managed to keep a clean sheet against Real Malabar, a side coached by Vinu Jose, former Indian international. Another game also going on at the Maharajas College ground in Ernakulam, where the heavyweights Kerala Blasters taking on Kerala United. The defending champions Gokulam Kerala, they were scheduled to play their opening game on 28th of January, but due to the spike in recent COVID-19 cases, Kerala Football Association, after in consultation with the health authorities, decided to halt Kerala Premier League for 15 days. Today is going to be the last match day before we go into the break. And now Guy Harman trying to make things happen. And after a slow start, slowly and steadily, SAT is settling down and getting into the groove. The give and go not working out on this occasion. Where the idea of foiling the plan was Lenin, another. He played for Chennai City FC in the Hero I League and also for FC Deccan in the Bangalore Super Division. That's a great switch out wide, kept in play brilliantly. He's got a man inside him, cuts on to his right, defender charging in and nicks it off his heels. Some miscommunication at the back. This might open up for SAT, and the shot on the half volley. Couldn't get a clean connection to that. It was Murali, and very nearly heading his team in front. That was the first real threat inside Wayanad United's box. Could not connect that impending half volley on that occasion. Was Murali. Nonetheless, a very decent cross from the left channel. Trying to get hold of the ball. Wayanad United. Free kick goes against Migdad. He's not happy with the referee's decision. You have no other option. You got to live with it. And talking about SAT and knowing how particular their coach Sanush Raj must have tried to fix those errors that they committed during the district championship. Talking about Wayanad United Football Club, and he's been very open about his team's chances, and he also knows how this team can haunt SAT this evening. This is what it looks like. The top two teams, they go through to the semi-final round, and the bottom two from each group is going to be relegated. They're going to participate in the district championship next year, and the winners of this season in the district league will play in the Kerala Premier League qualifiers next season. The Group A, comprising of 11 teams. 11 teams also in Group B, and 8 new corporate entries this season. And Wayanad United Football Club is one of them. Another long searching ball, easily defended. Tidying up at the back is SAT, and now the Rock of Gibraltar, Tirur. A safe pass. Tried to turn under pressure. Was the defensive midfielder Bashir, and he loses out. An early crossing. No green shirt waiting at the far side. It's been easily picked up by Ayub. And now they try to march forward. The ball put into touch. The referee stops play. There might be injury to one of the Wayanad United player, mostly the number 17 who went up in the overlap is Lenin. Referee just having a word with him. A very experienced central midfielder. He's partnering alongside Vakaba, the Ivorian, and Abu Bakar in defense for Wayanad United, the player from Liberia. Very much the 3-4-3. That is how the team in green and white shaped up, with Shibin, Abu Bakar, and Rejon making up the back three, with Ajit Sivan, the former Kerala Blasters player, playing on the right hand side of defense, with Johnson on the left, and Vakaba and Lenin, the two sitting midfielders. Vakaba stays low when Lenin push up into the final third, tries to add another extra body in attack, and that was the incident. Trailing leg, catching Ajit Sivan, and free kick for Wayanad deep inside their own area. It takes route one, looking for Migdad. He's gonna drop for the goalkeeper Muhammad Suhail. And they look to rebuild from behind using Ture. Spreading it to the left for Arsal. Not kept in play. That was a slightly heavy touch, a slight miscontrol, and throw in for Wayanad United Football Club. These are the games, they say, bring the best out of the rivals. And from a very neutral perspective, one can hope that these two teams dish out an exciting game of football this evening. Already 20 minutes on the clock. We saw a few quick interchange of passing, and no clear-cut opportunities apart from that one chance created by SAT from the left-hand side. Could not connect that impending half volley. Murali. Nothing from Wayanad going forward so far. A pretty direct approach. Playing the ball in a haste, spraying those passes from the defensive third, and I think looking for Migdad and Munir too often. Got to slow them down, and the difference gonna be palpable. Much organized in the middle of the park, the side from Tirur. That's a great third man movement, and the cross takes a slight deflection. It's going to trickle out for a throw in. Wayanad United, based in a small football crazy town named Pinangod, located on the top of Blue Mountains in the midst of lush green tea and coffee estates of Wayanad district. And the texture and pattern on the home jersey is a representation of the culture and coffee plantations in their beautiful district, and the first club from Wayanad participating in the prestigious state tournament, that is the Kerala Premier League. A couple of years back, the club started to nurture and develop local talents, and soon, with the motivation and support of sponsors, Wagon Mart, a hypermarket which has several outlets in and around Kohikor and Wayanad district, decided to step foot into this competition and leave a mark. Hence, the selected talented players from around Kerala and signed a couple of foreign players as well. Vakaba, the central midfielder, and Abu Bakar, the Liberian, in defense. Now, here is the former. Taking time on the ball is Johnson, almost losing it out. This is looking promising. Miscontrol from Prasanna. The youngster got to carve out mistakes, especially when playing at this level. He got to approach the game in an ambitious manner. Most of the progressions made by SAT so far down the left. You can see how drop Guy Herman is drifting, trying to be the creator. He's being the focal of his team while building up from defense. Throw in taken very quickly. His flag stays down. There's no offside from throw in. Cut back is available. Stood firm there. Abu Bakr putting it out of the danger area. Thought of a long shot is Arshal. Then deciding to slide it across. And the diagonal ball easily dealt with by Rejon. Time and again, you can see the disruption, technical issues, as I have mentioned before, but thankfully no goals missed. It's going to be a long throw in, speared into the box and away from Vakaba. It's going to be retrieved by Arsal, and they will look to repair this attack. A low ball in, and this might open up for the number 7, Faslu Rahman. He skied it over the top. A decent try. The idea was right, but not proper in execution. The moment he saw that extra yard ahead of him, decided to test the goalkeeper. Bhavein couldn't control his shot. It went flying over the crossbar. That's a slight heavy touch from Prasan. Ayub. Sports Academy Tirur, very much in a 4-4-2. Romtan Singh, Tore, Ayub and Arsal in defense. Faslu Rahman, Ritesh Bashir and Arshad making up the midfield four with Murali and Guy Harman up top. That is how they've shaped up. No, not much changes in the starting 11 than the previous game. Only Afsal is on the bench. Romtan Singh, the man from Manipur, the former Kerala Blasters player, is being asked to start this game. Guy Harman plays a nice 1-2 with Faslu. They're holding their shape brilliantly. Wayanad United defending in two banks of four. And every time they're trying to make inroads towards Wayanad area, they eventually have to come back and restart and rebuild from behind. As you can see, Ture chips it from behind. That's a misplaced header. Might be an opening. Punched away by the goalkeeper. Slightly advanced. No power behind that shot. It was difficult to take. You need to be a player of supreme quality to put the ball into the back of the net from that sort of an area. An easy pick up by the central defender. Bashir is stabbing it towards Ayub. High press being applied by Wayanad United. They are not shying away, playing against the big boys and not being overrun in midfield so far. And SAT trying to unnerve Wayanad United in midfield. They quickly realize that if they can stabilize the midfield and take control of midfield right from the off, they're slightly going to have an upper hand in the game. That is exactly what they're trying to do. Wayanad United currently pegged back. They're trying to hit SIT Tirur on the break. A slight mistake and a chase from Migdad, but alert to the danger was Toure, the Senegalese. And now Ayub helped on towards the number 8, Murali. Murali was hustled off the ball. Guy Harman. That's an elaborate touch and almost allowing the number 27 to capitalize. And that is Munir, the skipper. And now door opens up down the left. And Johnson on the overlap. And he picks out Prasanna, who is offside. Fractionally so. Couldn't time his run to perfection. And all those threats by Wayanad United from the left hand side being easily see off by SAT. And so far, Toure in central defense is leading by example. A man is injured. Skipper Munir, 31 years old, played in the senior district championship 5 times for Wayanad. Referee indicating for drinks break. So it's 0-0 at the EMS Corporation Stadium between SAT Tirur and Wayanad United Football Club. The game has been limited to chances so far. SAT Tirur certainly looked to the dominating side in terms of being inventive, in terms of trying to formulate something, trying to create havoc inside Wayanad United Football Club's box. And on the flip side, the side from Wayanad may not have experience of playing at this level, so they'll take time in settling down and play according to the plans of their head coach Sanus Raj, the B license holder, a former Santosh Trophy winner with Kerala, a man with enormous pedigree. Time for the match officials to hydrate themselves as well. It's a hot and humid day here, the EMS Stadium in Calicut, which is being referred as the food capital of Kerala. A couple of years back, Wayanad United, they started to nurture and develop local talents. Soon, with the motivation and support of sponsors, as I have mentioned before, they managed to do that. And the club boasts in selecting majority of the players from the interiors of Wayanad itself, who have a lot of experience of playing in 7-side football. But they are new to the 11-side football, that is the RAMCO Kerala Premier League. It's never going to be easy for them to adapt to the system. They've had plenty of training sessions over the past few weeks. Head coach Sanush trying to expose the squad to different conditions, to different tactics by playing few friendly games. Vakaba for Migdad, too much on it. Throw in for SAT. Slightly jittery start by Wayanad United. They have managed to quell that momentum that SAT were creating from the left hand side, and now they're coming forward using their number 10 Vakaba Prasanna. That ball was slightly behind the number 10 and out of steam. Ture, the ball playing centre back, this time going short. The number 17 peels away from his marker. Referee says this time free kick in favour of Wayanad. They have a reserve team too, which is preparing for the division competition currently. But they are focused to learn the modern style so that they can have more players in the coming years being promoted to the senior side. Over half an hour being played already. We're still waiting for the opening goal. That was a looping header. No power on that to trouble Suhail Mohammed. Those deep line maintained by SAT. They're holding their fort very well at the back. Arsal and Ture playing with confidence. Senegalese certainly had more touches of the ball in the first half for SAT than any other player. Romtan, Arsal, Guy Herman, twisting and turning and always looking up, always looking for options. This one time, the number 7 was providing options. The number that is Falsu, the captain. But his pass was towards a blur of maroon shirts, but for no one in particular. Whenever they try to keep the ball on the deck, they seem to be slightly more threatening. Why not? Guy Herman. That's a great ball threaded through for the number 8 who's hustled off the ball, Murali. That was a pretty strong challenge from Abu Bakr, the Liberian. Puts it out of touch. Muhammad Shibin played for Kannur University in his college career. Here is Ayub. Trying to scamper away with the ball. That was Lenin. Prasan. Johnson. Here's a good spell of possession from Wayanad. This move is looking decent. 3-4 touches already. That's a great ball spread out wide from Vakaba. A chance to cross it. The low ball comes in and away it goes via Toure's clearance, who lost his balance as well inside the box. The referee think he was fouled. That was a pretty decent move from Wayanad United from the right. Vakaba switching it brilliantly. Perfect weight on that pass. And Migdad was waiting inside the box. Could not manage to go behind the Senegalese. He's being tugged now. Murali. Experience of training in European circuit with the German giants Bayern Munich. Now Ture. advances into the Wayanad territory. Slightly a heavy touch from Ayub. No nonsense clearance. And how Sunil Kumar predicted that Wayanad United going to be a hard nut to crack, and perhaps could be defensive, but that is not the case, at least in the first 36 minutes. They are trying to take the game to SAT Tirur. Guy Herman controls it time and again. Toure was taking the aerial route, trying to bypass midfield and play direct, use the physical presence of Guy Herman and Murali, both of them very closely marked by the likes of Abu Bakr, Shibin, and Rijon. Those two fullbacks in Ajit Sivan and Johnson in a slightly advanced position, in a way, creating more passing angles in midfield. It's been a pretty close game so far, and now it's getting cagey. Sports Academy Tirur. They are an Indian professional football club based in Tirur. The club began competing in the Kerala Premier League way back in 2017-18 season. A professional football league organized by Kerala Football Association on 24 January 2017. P. Anil Kumar, the Kerala Football Association secretary, has said that SAT from Tirur, who is likely to be included in the RAMCO Kerala Premier League, and the club enjoyed an amazing run in the first two seasons and ended up at a third place in both the occasions. Last season, however, they finished third in Group A, leveling on points with the runners of Basco FC, losing out in goal difference. Looking for a reverse ball. Faslu Rahman, a defender, got in the way. Still holding up play. He was fouled. Just trying to kill the momentum that SAT was gaining. That's what you expect from a holding midfielder, Lenin. Just taking his time on the ball, trying to quell the momentum. And now they'll look to slow down the tempo. A slight lack of concentration from Johnson. Now under pressure was Guy Herman. They got to change their tact. They got to change their approach now, SAT. Getting predictable time and again. Guy Herman helps it on quickly towards Murali. Murali got defenders on his heels. Ramtan Singh coming central from his left back's position. Great lofted ball, and he will get there with his pace. Try to take on the right back Ajit Sivan. It's not an easy task. He seldom lets anyone go past him. Ajit. We saw that last season with Kerala Blasters. Problems with his hamstring. That doesn't looks pretty for Wayanad United. They've got a defender on the bench. Sanush Raj will be hoping that The injury is now nothing serious. First experience in the state football championship. They will be hoping to start off on a flying note. SAT Tirur certainly high in confidence after that a huge victory against Real Malabar. That is injury to the number 17 of Wayanad Lenin. Played in the Hero I League previously with Chennai City. They've got an exciting midfielder in Akbar on the bench, who was part of Gokulam Kerala's reserve side and also represented Kerala's under 19 team. As we approach the closing stages of the first half, it's still nil-nil between SAT Tirur and Wayanad United Football Club. A towering header tried to play in the number 27 Munir, winning it cleanly. The ball just behind the waiting Migdad, nicely anticipated by the Senegalese defender Toure, Prasanna, Vakaba. Now getting into the rhythm, Wayanad using the right flank. Time and again, Ajit Sivan going on the overlap. A couple of good crosses already. They are targeting SAT Tirur's left hand side, the side in which Romton Singh is playing. Ramton Singh so far not been instrumental in terms of joining attack. Now Migdad is offside. Toure launched towards the penalty area, getting an attempted flick on, runs all the way, and here is Ayub trying to get involved. The number 8 Murali in support as well. Lost sight of the ball in the end. Nice exchange. Spreading it to the left using outside of his boot. Tried to thread it along the floor. The pass was intercepted. Murali in a deeper role, striding forward. Pass has gone out of play. Toure looked pretty solid in the first 45 minutes. And also leading SAT's build-up play from behind. The first move, the first attack starts from his feet. Trying to defend from the front is SAT. Nicely done by Ajit. Goes over the top. Great covering from Toure. He's been rock solid at the back for SAT. And now rolls it down the line. Can he get there? No, he can't. The referee stops play. 3 minutes added on. And a Wayanad United man is down. We've had few stoppages in the first half. This little stoppages are just hampering the momentum of the game. Here's Vakaba. Down with an ankle injury. That is how it all happened. Both of them went for the ball. Certainly high boot from Lenin. Yes, Tirur will be looking to get the goal before going into the break. Uh, but the game so far in the first half has been bereft of chances. Plenty of ball possession by the team in maroon and white, but they failed to convert it. Now things could change now. Just taking away that slightest of touches from Abu Bakar took away the chance. And goal kick, receiving the first pass within 18 yards. The defender Rejon. A referee blows the whistle. It's half time then. The EMS Corporation Stadium, Thrissur. The Group A encounter
RAMCO Kerala
between
Cricket
Sports
League
Academy Tirur
ഷാറ്റ് തിരൂർ
and Wayanad United Football Club
തമ്മിലുള്ള
ends in a
മത്സരം പകുതി
stalemate.
സമയം പിന്നിട്ടപ്പോൾ
We
ഇരു
will come
ടീമുകളും
back
ഗോളൊന്നും
shortly
സ്കോർ ചെയ്യാതെ
after this
തുല്യത
break.
പാലിക്കുന്നു.
When we come back, the second half lie ahead of us. Make sure you don't go anywhere. Welcome back to the second half action at the EMS Corporation ground in Kohikor. You are watching RAMCO Kerala Premier League Season 9, match number 12, live on Sportscast India's YouTube channel. And in the other game, at the Maharajas College ground in Ernakulam, Francis putting daylight between them and Kerala Blasters. And it's nil-nil here between SAT Tirur and Wayanad United Football Club. But now we get ready for another 45 minutes. Can Wayanad Football Club surprise SAT Tirur and cause an upset? Or will SAT break the jinx? Will be answered in the next 45 minutes. Making a change is Wayanad United as NATO comes in. An early chance here from a very sharp angle, and that's the opening goal for SAT Tirur early in the second half. And what a start for the side from Tirur. And it's the number 10, Guy Herman, making the difference right from the off. And SAT Tirur go in front here against Wayanad United Football Club. That's a fine strike from the Cameroonian on the half turn. Didn't allow the defender long side to move. So Guy Herman strike separating the two teams right from the start of the second half. The number 10 smashing it into the back of the net past Bhavane from a very sharp angle. And Afsal comes in, replacing Ayub on the right hand side. So the number 15 making way for Afsal, who started in the previous game. A change in plan from Sunil Kumar. And now that he will look to defend this lead or maybe try and extend it. There's a brilliant ball into the feet of Guy Harman. He certainly got more pace. In comes the cutback, cleared away. Throw in for SAT Tirur, easily beating Abu Bakr for pace. Guy Harman, a very versatile attacker. He can play in any position and across the front line. Also dropping deep in the first half. One more chance. Sloppy defending from Wayanad United. The shot was skied over the top. No damage done, thankfully. Wayanad United knocked out of their strides by SAT's threatening start to the second half. And Sunil Kumar must have said enough during the half time. That must have revived the spirits of his players. And just what the doctor ordered. Guy Harman on the score sheet this second time in this competition. He also scored in the season opener. The attacking midfielder who can also play as a number 9. In fact, in every position on the front line. A very vital player to have in the team. And here is Murali. He is waiting for Guy Harman to make his way into the box. But the attempted cross gone out for a goal kick. Suddenly, under the cosh, Wayanad United. The second half started very badly for the side from Wayanad. RAMCO Kerala Premier League 2021. All the matches live and exclusive on the YouTube channel of Sportscast India. You can also send a super chat and place your questions there. It will be answered by our expert team. This time was looking for that straight run from Murali. Abu Bakr. Coming from the left, using the number 27. That is Munir. They have tasted blood early in the second half. SAT Tirur, the club who missed out on the semi-final spot last campaign, just on goal difference against Basco FC. 2016-17 season, their first season, they were the semi-finalists for the second successive season, in fact, in 2016 and 2017. 2018-19 season eliminated from group stage. As semi-finalists again in 2019-20 season, the season Kerala Blasters lifted the Kerala Premier League title. And last season, of course, eliminated from the group stage. They were a bit unlucky. Started their campaign on 7th March 21 against Gokulam. Lost 3-0, followed by a couple of draws against Lucas Soccer Club and Kerala Police. And then that 4-0 victory against FC Kerala on 4th April 2021 as they tried to power his way through. And now on the edge of the box, sets it up for Fasl Rahman. And Wayanad United can thank some of their defenders for getting some kind of block. Remove the sting of the ball, makes it easy for the goalkeeper, Bhavein. And Johnson scoops it. Battling for the ball. Manages to take it into his stride and trying to turn his man. Munir operating from the left channel in the second half. Prasanna from the right. Now it's Johnson, Abubakar, Rejon. They got to keep playing the brand of football they played in the first half. Wayanad. Free kick. Easy decision for the referee to make. Migdad cutting a very frustrated figure. The number 29. Wayanad United, they got to regroup themselves early on in the second half. That blow. And now currently oozing with confidence, the team in maroon and white. That's a great ball, perfect weight on it. It crosses in the offer and it comes. And cleared away by Tirur. Once again, the Senegalese leading by example. And every potential threat that's been generated inside the box is being swiped away by the long legs of the Senegalese defender. And now asking for a foul. The referee looking on intently. He's back to his feet. Vakaba, a poor touch, capitalized by Guy Herman. Vakaba using his strength in winning the ball back, but it's with Guy Herman who comes away. And now down the middle. That's a nice ball. Switched onto the far side. He's got two options waiting in the box, laid behind to Guy Herman. Guy Herman has got Munir for company. We touch the hour mark here at the EMS Corporation Stadium. And SAT leading by a goal. Thanks to that strike from Guy Herman. A pure individual brilliance separating the two teams. He's been the difference maker in the opener as well. Continuing his rich reign of form. And the wind knocked out of Wayanad United sails. The new side so far been decent. Apart from that one mistake in defense, they looked pretty comfortable. That was a cross from Arun Lal from the right, causing all sorts of problems inside the SAT box. Arun Lal played for Chennai FC and also in the Hero I League Division 2 and on the I League youth team as well. Irshad moving away from two defenders but ran into traffic. Akbar is dispossessed of the ball. Battling with it is Vakara, showing his strength. And again, referee this time thinks this was an invalid challenge by the Ivorian. And he's agitated. But Irshad is perturbed by the tackle. Masood comes in for Abu Bakr. Centre back from Liberia, making way for Masood. Shot on the turn, not too far off. A decent attempt by Guy Harmon. He is looking promising certainly in the second half. Excellent anticipation skills at the back from Tirur. He is literally reading the moves of the attackers. There he is, winning the header comfortably. Helps it forward. Vakara, he's got options on the right. An interesting run made by Akbar. Delayed a bit too much. And here they come. This time using the pace of the number 17. That is Bashir. But the ball has crossed the line. Is throw in. Lal replacing Lenin. All eyes on the number 7, who is threatening from the right hand side. Adventurous as well. He's got good cross on him. A very tricky customer. He's got nice flair. He's just shown a glimpse of that from that cross sent in. It's a bit scrappy down there in the middle. Guy Herman. A fine touch. Moved on towards Murali, who can't get there. But Irshad can. And now back to Murali. Irshad is surrounded by two players. Cushions it behind. And that's a great switch wide on the far right. As the ball just stops ahead of him on the edge of the area. Is Irshad, plays it back. A floated delivery went for the acrobatic. It was Bashir. The ball was nowhere near his range. Another hopeful ball forward. comfortably headed behind to his goalkeeper by Toure. Muhammad Shuhail, yet to be tested in this game. The only victory last season for SAT came against FC Kerala. That was a 4-0 victory on 4th April, followed by a 1-all draw against Basco FC. That made all the difference. A very cheap giveaway. Here is Akbar now, tormenting, teasing from the right, cuts inside, runs into a defender, still stays strong, finally robbed by the number 12. Lot of space down the right into the channel for Irshad. And the defender got there first, and it's a goal kick for United. Ritesh played for Indian Arrows, scorer of the opening goal against Real Malabar. 5 players in the starting 11. Playing for Kerala Blastly, Akbar bringing it down expertly. Oh, the pass is to the player he does not want to give it to, is Murali. Nicely held up on the right hand side. And the number 17 also interested to join attack, and that is Bashir. Here Ritesh moves it forward. This is looking promising. Faslu Rahman is offside. Wayanad United, the club, has a youth academy as well. That was the cross. The goalkeeper judged the flight of the ball and plucks it out of the air very comfortably. As I was talking about, Wayanad United's youth academy currently stopped due to the COVID-19 scare. They have temporarily stopped training as well. The primary focus is to select players from the interiors of Wayanad and other parts of Kerala and develop them to the best of their potential. And eventually, the club wishes to compete in the National League, both the youth and the senior team. They wish to climb more feats in the club coming years. The club is still in its fledgling state. That's a nice reverse ball. He's got a space to burn few calories. A slightly heavy touch contributing. And it's a goal kick. Wayanad United. They're struggling to come out of their shell in the second half. They've been impressive in patches mostly. Munir. Toure is lying down injured. He committed himself early, trying to win that 50-50 tussle. He's been winning all of them so far. A very important presence in the defense line. Here comes the cross, and once again is Toure. Impeccable. Not just his anticipation skills, he's pretty strong as well. The centre back from Senegal, a robust central defender who seldom lets anyone go past him. Covers a lot of ground, closely supported by rehearsal. One more move from the right hand side. He's got Murali inside him. One step over, digs it out for Murali, who brings it out. Tried to set himself up for the shot. One touch too many. Ritesh, Ture, changing flanks. That was Rompton. Guy Herman's ball down the line. The number 17 Bashir gives chase. He keeps it in play as well. He's been fronted by the number 14 Rejon. Plays it behind. Cross comes in. Got his head onto it. Tried to bring it down for Murali. Guy Herman with a toe poke. Akbar. That was a illegal challenge on him by the number 28. That is Romtan Singh. Ajit Sivan. Ajit Sivan is someone who loves joining attack. Hasn't been able to do that this evening against SAT, given the kind of pressure he's been under from the left hand side. Most of the occupied, both the wingers in fact. There's gonna be a booking for Murali for that challenge on Akbar. Arun Lal, pardon me. Former Chennai NFC player. The first booking of the game as well. Ajit Sivan. The ball punted in, almost getting in behind. Look at that from Torre, realizing that it might be a chance for Wayanad, just getting his body closer to the ball, not allowing the number 27 Munir to make something of that. Great defending from the Senegalese. Possession switching away from one team to the other in the blink of an eye, and no controlled possession. We saw few quick interchange, and now looking to go direct. Once again is Arun nodding the ball down into his own path. He's been pressurized by Romtan Singh. Arun will get a throw in. Sometimes he's lacking options inside the box, which is why he has to hold a play every time he's getting on the ball. And now backing into a defender was Migdad. Shouts of a penalty. He's never going to get a spot kick for that. Guy Herman. The ball just taken away. Shravan. The flag has went up immediately. We are into the last 15 minutes. This SAT seems like heading towards another victory, and a win here will take them to the top of Group A. Currently, that particular spot is being occupied by Alti's International, and a yellow card to SAT goalkeeper Mohammad Shuhail for time wasting. Double change coming in. Number 18, Tanveer. He will be replacing Basir. Murali also makes way. Just asking his players to trot up. Both the teams with a direct approach. Arun Lal is being harassed by the maroon and white shirt whenever he's on the ball, lacking support on the right. Chance for Rajit Sivan to pump the ball into the area. The keeper comes out and collects it comfortably. Slight injury as well. He will try to buy a few minutes. He'll start some communication between Rompton and Ture, just asking to stay close to each other and deny that gap between the lines to Wayanad United. And Bhavane uh, beaten once already, but Muhammad Suhail yet to be tasted. He's receiving treatment now. That was the ball. Number 29, Middat, just clattering into Muhammad Suhail. You see number 27, Munir, will be taken off. Coming in is 16, Sebastian. Flurry of changes by both sides. Playing their cards, both the managers now, especially Sanush Raj. He knows that the game is not a loss to doom and gloom. If his side can manage to sneak one in the closing embers of the match, a chance for his side to salvage something from this particular encounter. 1-0 is never a safe score line. Those cushions can be popped very quickly. And SAT Tirur in search of their insurance goal. And the keeper is up on his feet. The first half performance has been pretty impressive from United. In the second half, they failed to muster up anything on the opposite end. Vakaba, fouled by Guy Harman. Now he's clutching his knee. One more change is getting ready. Mikdad going out. Vakaba slightly injured.
Substitution for Tirur.
Those innocuous little things can turn up into long-term damages if not taken care of.
Number 12, Rubies.
Vakaba leaves the
Jersey
pitch
number 16,
and down to 10 men momentarily. Wayanad.
Substitution for Wayanad United. Jersey number 27.
There's gonna be a booking for Bashir. That knock
Number 29.
to his head.
Mikdad. Replaced by jersey number 16.
Both Ajit Sivan and Bashir went up for the ball. Injury on his back and received a knock, which is why it came off worse. The referee was close to the incident and didn't delay in flashing out a yellow card. And free kick for Wayanad. They will be looking to make this particular set piece opportunity count. No variety yet from set pieces. This time it's towards the far side, running towards Fakaba. Free kick goes SAT's way. Stays strong there. Not pressing the panic button. The defensive unit of Sports Academy Tirur, whenever they've been under pressure, they've been pretty much measured and calm and collected. The pass was nearly falling short of Rompton. Thankfully, got into his way. Now Bashir was interested for that one. Defender got across to it and cleared. The last 9 minutes of regulation time left. Jeet goes high. Toe-to-toe challenge. Man in green is down. Rejohn. Just demonstrating with the referee. Is Ursel. Ture. A great crossfield ball. Just attacked too much. Carved it away over the top. There's a great turn of pace. Puts a break on his run. And now he's cutting inside onto his favorite right foot. Still keeps his balance. And now takes a tumble. Lands inside the box on the follow-up. Leftley says play on. Looking to create room to take a long-range try. Last season, SAT, they collected 6 points from 5 matches, 1 win, 3 draws and 1 loss. This season, however, started off with a victory against Real Malabar and also ahead in this game. Wayanad United, they have a lot of positives to take from this particular encounter. They put up a great show despite being 1-0 down, given a good account of themselves, something they're not used to playing 11-side games. The head coach Sanush Raj put on over 14 training sessions to get his side exposed to this kind of challenges. Playing few friendlies, knocking the ball around is the team in maroon and white. The great first touch, runs away from 2, and now Guy Harman, the release was first falling short off his man, has been picked up by Arun Lal. Double teamed in the middle of the park. Faslu Rahman lost control. Here's Prasanna. Tried to knock it past Ramtan Singh, not succeeding. Finally, Group A is started to take shape. Altius International and SAT looking promising in the early doors, even though the defending champions Gokulam Kerala yet to start their season in the RAMCO Kerala Premier League's Season 9, and with the postponement of matches, we'll have to wait for that. This is going to be the last match day before we go into a 15 days break. You can also send your questions at the same time via super chat. It will be answered by our expert team. A free kick taken shot, trying to add some variety. The cross towards the far side, not in play, and goal kick for SAT Tirur. And now it's all about game management. SAT shutting shop, trying to play percentage football, holding on to this lead quite comfortably, not being harassed in the second half. Wayanad United still trying to find the pathway. On the flip side, SAT Tirur trying to shut off the direct route towards goal. Not a legitimate challenge from behind by Guy Harman on Vakaba. And the two Africans getting into a battle of their own. Nicely done there. And now he's got some room to cross it in. No green shirt waiting in the box, so he will wait and he will watch and he will try to pick out Ajit Sivan. It has crossed the line, the circumference of the ball. Oh, is heating up between Ajit and Faslu Rahman. A few hot words being exchanged. And now Rompton with the throw in. Less than 3 minutes left on the clock. Peeling from the touchline. Sanush Raj, referee acknowledging him. It's a free kick. It is a throw in for Wayanad. Now they will look to go long into the box. Is Sebastian with a long run up, arrowed inside, headed away. A firm header, an easy clearance. Falls kindly for the number 9. That was Akbar, who's been introduced in this game. And now charging forward. Could have been a lucky deflection for the number 14, Shravan. Hanging on to the ball till the last minute. And SAT making the final change. And a nice reverse ball inside. Tried to chip the goalkeeper. The angle went against him. Still managed to get his shot away. And it's gonna be a Santoy Singh coming in. Another Manipuri lad being introduced. Bashir will play no further part. Just a minute and a half left on the clock. Sanatoy Singh, the number 31, will get few minutes with a turn of pace from the left hand side. It digs it out, but only helps a player in maroon shirt. Here comes United. puts him off very comfortably. That was Akbar. Faslu Rahman, a loose touch,
Substitution for
capitalized.
Tirur. This number 15, Ayub, is
Bhavein
replaced by
for Kaba. Additional time of 5 minutes. Still, there is
this
time
number
for
21,
United
Betoncham Sandor Singh.
to get something from this game.
Add on time 5 minutes.
Reach on into a central role in the second half, especially after the departure of their foreign centre back. Nice guide on towards the goalkeeper from Ajit. It's a bit scrappy, and he will be booked for that reckless challenge from behind. Tirur. Four SAT players already been booked in this game. That was a clear push from behind on the number 16. Sebastian. One more opportunity for Wayanad United. Will there be a twist in the tail? Lofting it into the box is Sebastian. The goalkeeper comes out. He reads the danger and comes to the rescue. The football action doesn't end here in the Sportscast India. Kerala Women's League. We will be underway with the second game. That is between Don Bosco Football Academy and Travancore Royals. Second versus third taking on each other. It's going to be a lip smacking encounter. Do not forget to tune in for that. It's going to be a 6:30 p.m. kickoff from the Municipal Corporation ground in Thrissur. Currently, Kerala United they are playing against Karathanad Raja Football Academy. The second last match day of the Kerala Women's League. Gokulam Kerala already champions with one game to spare. Trying to find a yard, managing to do so. He's got quick feet. Falso Rahman just tried to do too much on his own, delaying in releasing the ball. A couple of minutes left. And now Wayanad United looking to up their ante. Nicely done there by Arun Lal. But the final pass was heavy for Ajit, and the move breaks down. Now they'll take their time in taking the throw in SAT Tirur. They are heading towards the second victory. It's gonna be two consecutive clean sheets as well. Rompton. Ajit playing it to the left. Past Ture. Moving up aggressively. It's gonna be a foul in a very dangerous area. And this time is Guy Harman, the goal scorer, who has been penalized. And golden chance for an equalizer for United. This is their moment. The last roll of the dice. And look at that. And Akbar. He was bundled over by Guy Harman. We saw a late equalizer in the game between FC Oricode and Altis International Ibnu. converting that free kick from a similar sort of range on this very particular ground. Can Masood do the same for Wayanad United? Here goes Masood, caught under the ball and skied over the top. It's going to be the last piece of action of this match. Mohammad Shuhail, another 3 points. A second win for SAT Tirur, two in a row. But Wayanad United will be proud of their performance in their first ever state football championship evening. Oh, the possession conceded very cheaply, stopped on his tracks. Now it's going to be the final whistle any moment. Referee just asking him to hurry things up. Gets on the ball. Mashoud cleverly winning the throw in, and that's the full time whistle at the EMS Corporation Stadium in Kohikor. The match number 12 between Sports Academy Tirur and Wayanad United. Sports Academy Tirur coming out victorious of the two with a comfortable 1-0 win, thanks to that strike from Guy Herman on the 46th minute mark in the second half. And with this win, Sports Academy Tirur go on top of the points table with 6 points from 2 matches, which means LTS International they are not they are not first anymore, and they will slip down to second with 4 points from 2 matches. These are the two teams, in fact, in this group who are unbeaten and off to a flyer. And Wayanad United on the flip side, they had a great outing in the first 45 minutes, but things hasn't gone according to plan in the second half. Thanks for joining us on the YouTube channel of Sportscast India. It's goodbye from Kohiko.